Okay, as Julie has touched on, risk is a huge part of your event is risk management. However, please do not let this scare you or put you off. It's something that's really important, but as we keep saying, there's so many documents out there to help you. Plus, there's also a lot of really experienced people out there in the cycling community that do this as part of their day job. That'll be really, really useful people for you to be able to bounce off to make sure that your risk management side of your event is up to date. In terms of the risk assessment process itself, it's slightly different for some different types of events and different disciplines. So for road, closed circuit and track events, you are given a set risk assessment document for the route. This is completed by British Cycling and it is a very much set document. It tells you how many marshals you need to have, what signage you need to have out, and exactly where these items need to be positioned. You will notice on them, however, they mention accredited marshal. Just to note quite clearly in this session, that's not something that we do have up in Scotland yet. And you can see on all the risk assessments, it'll say that where accredited marshals are called for, these should be replaced with a red flag marshal up here in Scotland. We've got a lovely online resource with maps of the country, which map out the courses that are available in your region. At this moment in time, we're not doing new course requests. It is very much working with those ones that we've got. There's a really good range across the country, and these will be able to allow you to plan your road, closed circuit or track event. As well as that provided route risk assessment, you must also complete an event risk assessment. So this is the risk assessment for your event HQ and the journey to the race start. So it's the bits which are not specifically the race route. Again, it's really important to get that you complete this document fully and to the best of your abilities, and you can download the template to do this from the useful resources section. For off-road events, inside your useful resources of your event organizer dashboard, which we will keep referencing over and over today, this is where you'll be able to download your template off-road risk assessment form. You should fully complete this risk assessment form. Please don't leave any of those boxes blank. Would highly recommend finding someone in your club or within your local community who can support this. As I've said, so many people work in the world of risk that actually for them, this is a really simple process. They're very good at identifying risks and putting in place mitigations that are appropriate for that level of risk. You should always make sure that you download the most up-to-date risk assessment form from your British Cycling event organizer dashboard. Even if you've organised the event previously and you've risk assessed it previously, you should still download the most up-to-date form and make sure that everything is transferred across onto that and it is redated. It's most important that you do go back out, even for events which take place over and over again, that you are going out and ensuring that these risk assessment documentations are up to date, because you can never know when something might change with your course, with your event, with your HQ in the car park that may impact what you need to have on that risk assessment document. So these are some wee hints and tips. They are off-road, however, they can also apply to your event risk assessment for the road, circuit and track event. So make sure that you're filling in every box. Don't leave anything blank, please. Facility references your race HQ. FOP, that fun acronym, stands for Field of Play, and that specifically is your race course or track, the area where the cycling actually takes place. For off-road events, you should also insert a screenshot of your course map. Very handy hint here is to make sure that you send it to the back, and then you can add all the marker points that are on that risk assessment template afterwards, and they'll sit nicely on the top. And as we've said, get an experienced clubmate or one of your commissaire team to check it over before you submit it to us. They might not necessarily be able to look at it for accuracy. They won't know every single tree on the course that you're planning, but they will be able to help give you an idea of how reasonable it looks in terms of identified risks and mitigations. So just as a bit of an example, this is what the risk assessment documentation looks like. It's quite simple. You can see that there's categories, there's descriptions, then your standard risk assessment items, who's at risk and what that level of risk is. You then identify controls to reduce that level of risk. Please make sure that you do identify all possible risks and make sure that those controls that you put in place are reasonable and they will things that you will be able to deliver on the event day. You should not be putting mitigations into your risk assessment that you know you won't be able to deliver on the event day. In terms of that, there's so many people out there that can help you with that. And this is going to be a really, really important part of your pre-event delegation to make sure that your marshal team, your commissaire team know exactly what they need to do that is relevant to that risk assessment on the event day.